The United States National Institute of Standards and Technology, aka NIST Revision 4, it introduces heightened expectations for authentication strength and federation security. Some of the significant changes and new requirements include promotion of a digital identity risk management framework. Now, this is really shifting from a static, checklist-based approach to a more dynamic, more outcome-based and risk-focused. Guidelines also place a greater emphasis on phishing-resistant authentication methods, such as your FIDO2, to combat fraud and address advanced threats like account takeovers, the injection attacks, deepfakes, and many more. Right. A notable addition to this draft is that focus on equity and accessibility, ensuring that digital identity solutions are usable for a wider range of people, including those with disabilities. And additionally, the draft is also kind of talking about a new taxonomy of identity proofing, such as categorizing these methods as remote, onset, attended, unattended, etc. But what's also interesting is that NIST has explicitly prohibited outdated methods like the knowledge-based verification. But last but not the least, I think it's really exciting to see the new guidelines introduced, concepts like the subscriber-controlled digital wallets, verifiable credentials, etc. And bringing them into the federation model. I think this allows for a more secure and a privacy-preserving identity interactions. Look, in 2024, deepfakes increased by 3,000% from previous year, and today there's about one deepfake every 5 minutes, right? So looking at the face of today's sophisticated cyber threats, enterprises cannot afford to really ignore whether their identity assurance practices are current or strong enough, right? The NIST update is a clear signal that the future of digital identity is phishing resistant, mobile first, and user controlled. NIST Revision 4 update is a call to action to organizations, and it requires that they, one, move beyond passwords. Okay. Now, we all know that passwords are not fully eliminated, but they can no longer be the recommended primary authentication method. Organizations should prioritize the adoption of phishing-resistant authentication methods like FIDO2 to secure user accounts and reduce the risk of fraud. 2, adopt a risk-based approach. Adopt models that are continuously assessing and managing identity-related risk. Now, this means that you may need to tailor your identity solutions to specific needs and risk rather than, simply following a checklist of items. 3rd, modernize identity proofing, right? The new guidelines prohibit outdated and insecure methods like your knowledge-based verification. In fact, a more secure identity proofing method such as biometrics, now that which includes both remote as well as on-site options, is gaining momentum, and it also needs NIST guidelines. 4th, embrace new technologies. Explore and prepare for the adoption of new technologies like the user-controlled digital wallets, verifiable credentials, etc. Best part is that these are now considered a valid part of the federation model and thus offer a more secure and a privacy-preserving way to handle identity data. And of course, last but not the least, prioritize equity and accessibility. NIST update mandates that organizations consider how their digital identity systems impact different demographic groups, right? You need to make sure that your solutions are usable and accessible to everyone, including individuals with disabilities.